Hi everyone, this is your math guru. In this video, I'm going to show you how to divide the following polynomials using the synthetic division method. In the first example, we have x to the power 4 plus 3x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 6 divided by x plus 3. Note that in the first example, we are dividing by a factor of x plus 3. And in synthetic division, we must turn that factor into its zero form by setting it to 0. So therefore, we have x plus 3 equals to 0. Therefore, x will be negative 3. So the next step is to start dividing. I'm going to draw my division box as shown. And because we're dividing with a negative 3 as a factor, I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to list all the coefficients of my polynomials on the same line. So starting with x to the power 4, the coefficient is 1. The next one, x cubed, the coefficient is 3. The next one, the coefficient is negative 1. Next one, negative 1, and then 6. Note that I'm getting the coefficient as shown for each one, and then my constant term, which is 6. The next step is I'm going to drop the first coefficient, which is 1. I'm going to drop that down, and then I write my 1, and then I multiply my negative 3 by 1, which will give me negative 3, and then I write the answer under the next column, which is negative 3. The next step, I'm going to add that together. That's 3 plus negative 3. That will give me 0. And then I go ahead repeating the steps. That's negative 3 times 0. That will give me 0. I write that under the next column as shown. And then I add negative 1 plus 0. That will give me negative 1. I repeat the process again. Negative 3 times negative 1. That's positive 3. I write it under the next column. The next step is to add. I have negative 1 plus 3. That will give me positive 2. And then the last step, negative 3 times positive 2. That's negative 6. And then I do my addition. 6 plus negative 6, that will give me 0. So having the 0 in the last column simply means that if I divide that polynomial by x plus 3, there will not be a remainder. And also, what this means is my answers below will be the coefficients of my answers. So writing that out, I'm going to have, starting with the first one, which is 1, note that I'm going to drop my power by 1, or what I mean is our answer will always be 1 power smaller than the original. So starting with 4, if I drop that by 1, that will be 3. Then using the first coefficient, that's 1. So I have 1x to the power of 3 plus the next coefficient is 0. So I have 0 times x to the power of 2. Then I have negative 1 times x to the power of 1 plus my constant term, that's 2. Why? Because x to the power of 0 will still give me 1. And rewriting that, my final answer will be x cubed. 0 times x squared will be 0, so that goes off. Then negative 1 times x, that's negative x plus 2. In the next example, I'm going to do the same, starting with making or turning that factor into its 0 form. That's our x minus 2. I have x minus 2 equals to 0. So therefore my x equals to positive 2. And then using my table as shown, I write my 2. And then I list out all the coefficients from my polynomial as shown, and together with the constant term, negative 10. So I start with 2. Don't forget to include the signs. I have negative 5. I have plus 2. I have plus 5. Then the last one, negative 10. the first step is to drop down the first coefficient, which is 2, and then I start my multiplication. 2 times 2 would give me 4, and then I write my 4 in the next column. After writing my 4, I add that column, so negative 5 plus 4, that's negative 1, and then I repeat the process. 2 times negative 1, that will give me negative 2. Then I add the next column. 2 plus negative 2, that will give me 0. Then I repeat the process. I have 2 times 0, that will give me 0. And then I add that column. 5 plus 0, that's 5. And the last but not the least step, 2 times 5 will give me 10. I write it in the last column as shown. And then adding that column, negative 10 plus 10 will give me 0. And as I explained earlier, what that means is if I divide that polynomial by x minus 2, there will not be a remainder. So therefore, writing out my answer, that will be, note that the answer below, that's 2, negative 1, 0, and 5, are the coefficients of my answers. And then I'm also going to always drop my power for my original polynomial by 1. So starting with 2, I have 2 because the highest power is 4. Dropping by 1, that will be 2x to the power of 3. The next coefficient, negative 1 times x to the power of 2 plus 0 times x to the power of 1 plus 5. That's the constant term because I have x to the power of 0, which is 1. And if I rewrite that, that will give me 2x cubed minus x squared. 0 times x, that's 0. Then I have plus 5. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button below for more easy to understand math concept. Bye.